Hello from Scotland. I hope you're doing well. Sadly, I'm making this video without Janina and the kids. You know, our last video when they were in it got the most views we've ever had on one of our video updates. So I know the key to drawing people in is my beautiful, incredible family. But it's just me for today as life is a bit chaotic. Recently, one of our elders in Youth with a Mission challenged us to be people who know the character of God, and that if we know the character of God, are studied in it, then from that place we can be so much more secure in times where there is struggle and difficulty, of anxiety, of loss, of all of these different things. And so I've started that journey, which has been rich, and the thing that stood out most to me so far is that God blesses and he continues to bless. It is in his nature to bless. And so I pray today you would know your good God who loves to bless, to bring you joy and to draw you closer to him, to make you more like him. We've got plenty to update you on today. Today I'm also doing it from my incredibly messy office as we're getting close to the hiking retreat and hikes. So that means my desk gets way more messy, to the great agony of everybody I share an office with. But we've now sent our DTS off, and they're working in both Asia and Albania, sharing God's love in refugee camps. They're going to prayer rooms, hitting the street. They're doing all sorts of things. And this DTS has been such a group that is mature beyond their years, and they are hungry for Jesus and hungry to make him known. So it's been an absolute privilege to send them out, and we'll be welcoming them back in a month. The Send. Now, this is an incredible event which is going all around the UK currently, and we've just had it in Scotland. It's birthed from YWAM and a few other charities, where it's a big arena event for the whole day. During the time you will worship, you will pray, and you'll respond. And the ultimate goal is to release a generation again into the Great Commission. So it's not necessarily a time to bring people you know that don't know Jesus and to see them encounter him, although that happens. But the goal is to see a generation rise up and go into missions, whether that be abroad, in their universities, locally, wherever it may be, a generation saying yes to the Great Commission again. So we've just had that, which was an incredible time. I was running a stall for missions there. A bunch of our team was helping run the event, and we saw hundreds of young people say yes to missions, yes to going to their universities, yes to going to their campuses, which having run big events for many years in the Philippines, you always take these statistics with a grain of salt, but you realize that it takes one radical Hudson Taylor. It takes one radical brother Andrew to encounter God, have a wholehearted yes, to bring incredible change. And we're believing from this event that there will be a lot of that, a lot of seeds sown, a lot of people going radically back to their places of influence to see people encounter Jesus. My hikes are back up in full force, and we've got a hiking retreat coming up at the end of June. There's still 1 or 2 spaces. If you're ever interested, drop me a message. Would love to have you along. There's another one coming up a little bit later in the summer. But I'm now back out with the refugees regularly, a few other group potentials, and somebody now joining the team so we can start to do way more hikes, which is really encouraging for me. But last week I was out with a group from all over the world. But I got to, at the very end, I had my eye on this guy who was chatting away to many others. So I was hearing snippets of his story. But for the last hour, I got to walk with him. And he was hungry for something. He had the classic secular views of all paths lead to God. Well, if you believe it, that's great. More power to you. So I got to share the gospel with him and talk about truth and talk about Jesus's claims. And if his claims are true, what does that mean for you? What does that mean in the light of eternity? And we spoke for an hour in depth about the gospel. at which at the end he was like, "You have given me so much to think about." And we got back to the car and he committed to go to Bible study and committed to go to a church. So these sorts of things are always so encouraging for me. I find taking groups out into the hills, you can go deeper so much faster. It's not a threatening place to go deep and be vulnerable, share my story, hear people share their stories, and people encounter the living God. So more of that, lots more of that. If you have a group that would like to come to Scotland and head out in the mountains, again, let me know. Would love to take people. So we've had a steady stream of outreach teams coming here over the last few months as well, which has been really encouraging. We have a town just next to us. There's 3 towns that merged into one. An old industrial town used to export salt, ships, had the biggest TNT factory in the world. All of these big factories that shut down in a short space of time and left it deeply impoverished. I believe when I last looked, out of 2,000 towns in Scotland, it's number 72 for the most impoverished. So it's not in a good way. And going there, it's hard ground, really hard ground to preach the gospel and to share. And we've had teams come and go. They head to Glasgow, see salvations, head to a town up the road, see salvations, but hard ground in the 3 towns. But we recently had a performing arts team, which is totally not my jam. I'm dancing and doing a lot of artistic things. But man, they hit the streets, they did these powerful presentations, and over the course of the week, they saw 2 people saved in a place that we've been plowing for long and it's hard to see fruit. So we love hosting teams, and it's been great to again see salvations. When I was in the Philippines, it felt salvations were almost daily, but discipleship was really difficult. Whereas in Scotland, once you get the yes, it feels way easier to disciple. Not easy, easier, but getting to that yes, wow, it's hard. So to see 2 salvations in our local town was incredible. And now we're looking to the summer. There's a lot going on. We've got a busy summer ahead. Usually summer is our quieter time, and I guess it's quieter than the rest of this year has been, but we've been so blessed this year with so much going on. It's been really, really encouraging. But we've got the School of the Word and Spirit Bible School here. We've got some big youth groups coming through. We've got some teams coming through, some conferences coming through. So there's a lot going on top of the retreats that I'm running as well. So all of that happening in amongst there being less staff in the building, because summer's ideal to go home, do fundraising, see your family when you haven't seen them for a few years. So do pray for us as a mission when we're doing a lot. I mean, just setting up beds for visitors and doing that is a task in and of itself. And we live on the stormy west coast, so for example, that window just exploded the other day. So I had to fix that. So there's always something. So pray for grace in a season where we might feel a little bit more stretched as a few staff are away for a month or so. Pray for some more applications to come in. We want our team to be growing as our influence is growing in many places in the nation. Please pray for us as a family. It's a huge year for us. Pray for the kids. We've got Faith going into primary school, Isaiah going into nursery, and all the wrestles of children in a deeply secular school in a deeply secular liberal village, and wisdom as to how to be good parents in the midst of that. It's such a wrestle. Wisdom for Janina stepping back more fully into YWAM life and what that looks like for her. She is incredibly smart and a high achiever, so wisdom as to where to put her giftings would be great, because she can fill many gaps, but we want her to hear from the Lord and go after what God's got for her in this season. So again, thank you always for partnering with us. We are volunteers. We can only do all of this with Youth with a Mission because people like you generously give to us monthly. So thank you again. And we acknowledge that in Scotland, of all places, it feels the spiritual warfare is a lot. So for those of you covering us in prayer, please continue to do so. We so appreciate it. All right, I've kept it under 11 minutes. Blessings.